us, as we say, someone who needs no introduction, but we know her. She is a history maker just by the fact of her title. Governor Hochul is our first female governor in the state of New York. Come on, let's give it up. Let's give it up. Let's give it up. Come on, come on, come on. Our 57th governor who continues to make strides and inroads. Choose Healthy Life had $5 million. She gave us another $1 million on top of that. Amen. Amen. And you want to give us any more money today, you can do that. You can do that. But listen, let us receive Governor Hochul. We're so excited about what she is doing for our state. Her voice in these political times has been dominant, and we appreciate her not backing down to the powers that be, but standing for all New Yorkers. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, let's receive our 57th Governor, the Honorable Kathy Hochul.
Good morning, church. This is indeed the day the Lord has made. Now, I was also raised as a Christian, a churchgoer, just like Reverend Williams talked about. My church is a little more subdued, raised as a Roman Catholic, but we still praise the same God. And God has always had a profound influence in my life. And as the song we heard from the praise and worship team welcomed us and talked about, God woke us up today. Well, God woke me up today, and I had a smile on my face because I knew I was going to Cornerstone in Brooklyn. Now, there's also a famous football coach who'd always say, where would you rather be right here and right now than this moment? Well, I'm not going to talk football too much, even though we have our new quarterback, because the Bills are playing the Jets in a couple of hours. Okay, I'm just saying I didn't say who, okay? But I see you're wearing a lot of green. Okay, I get it. Gosh, this always gets me in trouble. But I'm so honored to be at this place in this moment in history, because this is a historic moment. And for Reverend Aker and First Lady Cynthia to take on the challenges that have been entrusted to you from leaders who really paved a whole new path forward. I mean, no one during the pandemic 5 years ago was saying, oh, let's get together and have a group of people and audition and maybe take interviews for someone who's going to actually care about black people during the pandemic, because nobody was stepping up and doing that. You took this on your own. You stood up and said, we will look out for them. We'll look out for our brothers and sisters the way Christ had taught us to do. And just like Deborah, this extraordinary individual, Dr. Deborah Fraser Hauser. She did this during the AIDS crisis. You talked about this, Reverend DeGraff. I heard about this from Hazel Dukes as well. When I heard about the two of you going to churches where people, not just the babies, but adults were lying there alone in hospitals, literally on their deathbed, and all they wanted was a human hand to touch in their final moments. And you and Hazel and some other courageous people stood up and did that then, and you brought that sense of mission and purpose all the way from the AIDS crisis to the COVID crisis. And we are forever grateful to you in assembling a group of people. And I'll tell you, when everybody walked in my door that day, I've got Deborah Fraser Hauser, got Reverend DeGraff, Hazel Dukes. Okay, when they're walking in the door of my office, I'm a pretty new governor, like, okay, I surrender. What do you guys want? Because I know my pocket's going to be a little bit lighter, but for a good cause. And I've been so proud to support and push you to better places, as we talked about. Again, there's a lot of poverty in upstate New York. Look at the top 10 zip codes in New York State. The highest rates of poverty, 9 are upstate, in places like Buffalo, Rochester, Syracuse, and in the Bronx. That breaks my heart. So taking what you've created here, which is so brilliant, to use the most trusted voice in black communities, the church, as the vehicle to persuade people the importance of getting vaccinations and prenatal care. And I want you to be proud of this, maybe because I'm New York's first mom governor, I know all about prenatal care. And I have a brand new grandbaby. My daughter now knows about it as well. We also said, how are moms who are making minimum wage at their job supposed to take 2 or 3 hours off every few weeks, and then it gets closer, every few days, for these prenatal visits? Because you lose income, the moms are saying, I better not go because my other kids at home won't eat tonight. They had to make terrible choices, and we stood up and said, no more. We'll be the first state in the nation that says you get 20 hours of paid prenatal leave time here in the state of New York. That's how you tackle the specter of maternal mortality, as we've talked about before. So I come here so grateful for this organization and the elected leaders. But before I get to them, I have to talk about my soulmate. Talk about souls in church, right? I have a soulmate. A man who's put up with me for 41 blessed years. Your first ever first gentleman, Bill Hochul. Just had our anniversary. We re-upped for another 41, so we're good, right, honey? Okay, good. Just got to make sure I get that out there. So Reverend DeGraff, our state owes a debt of gratitude for your powerful voice. And when you're looking for that next assignment, meet me at the door, okay? Because I've got something for you, I guarantee it. But for you and Deborah and Kimberly Williams, I welcome you to the position. But also, we have extraordinary leaders right here in Brooklyn. I mean, there's not a more respected and in places feared Attorney General in the entire nation than our own Tish James. Give her a round of applause. Give her a lot of love, everybody. We have an incredible district attorney, Eric Gonzalez, who's been my partner fighting to keep our streets safe, changing the laws that needed to be changed. Your own assembly member, boy, she comes around like she never stops telling me what she wants for her district. Your assembly member, Rodneyce Bichat Hermelin, a great person. Also a mom, a lawyer, a businesswoman, a assembly member. She does so much. Like, when do you have time? And by the way, the chairman of the Democratic Party here. Lord, keep her in your prayers as well, or in your thoughts. So I honor the people who are here. I honor this organization. Deborah, you know this means so much to me. And I want to continue because it makes me so proud. But here we are facing challenges. A couple of you have alluded to this. I mean, if only we had leadership in Washington that valued life the way we do, a healthy life, also was not at war with science, and actually is discouraging people from getting life-saving COVID shots. And a crazy guy, that's all I can say, if I watch my language, I'm in church, but this Secretary Kennedy, who does not even believe in vaccinations that are known to save lives as they have through our entire lives. So I had to overrule that. I said, no, not here in New York. You want to get a COVID shot at the local drugstore, you be my guest, and I'll make everybody else pay for it because I want you healthy. So continue to get that word out there, my friends. It's that time. I'm getting my COVID shot this week. I'll show you how it's done. Got to be tough. Little grimace. We're tough. But I just want to let you know that I will be there for you. And we'll keep investing in our people and our children and our families and doing everything I can to just put more money back in people's pockets and help with more money for childcare. You know, in the state of New York, every child now goes to school and can look forward to a free breakfast and a free lunch. First time ever in our state's history. It just started this fall. I don't want little kids' tummies growling when they're supposed to be learning. And by the way, when they're supposed to be learning, there's no more cell phones in their hands either. How about that? We'll keep investing in money back in those pockets, public safety with our leaders here. We're not done, my friends. We're not done. We're on a long journey together. But as a child who was raised as a social justice Catholic, whose parents marched not just in the peace marches, but in the civil rights marches, that was me, that little kid out there wearing a black armband in my Catholic school. What is she doing? Well, sister, we're protesting the Vietnam War. But it made me who I am. And those fights that I inherited from my parents and grandparents are with me now on behalf of everyone, because I want every community to know that they're valued, they're cherished, they're loved, and they do deserve to have a healthy life. Thank you very much, my friends. Thank you for all you do. So grateful.
Thank you, Governor. Thank you. Thank you.